Fucking lie, you dumb hooker.
Welcome back to a solemn but pack full of updates episode of the Cyrax Deep Dive series here on the Swamp Dweller channel. First and foremost, I want to give my condolences to MusicBizMarty, aka Nicholas Beegler, and his family, and his fans, and everybody else in that circle. I didn't say anything in the last episode as I was unsure of exactly what was going on, and most of what I knew was just from Reddit posts and the videos I was reacting from Cyrax. Just to be respectful, I didn't want to jump to any conclusions, and that's why I stayed incredibly neutral in last episode. Knowing a bit more now, I feel a bit more comfortable putting out my condolences and unfortunately sharing the passing of MusicBizMarty. Some things never change though. Cyrax is back at it like a crack addict, back to his same old ways, spouting conspiracy theory after conspiracy theory. Cyrax is in complete denial about MusicBizMarty's passing and refuses to believe that it actually is legitimate. So let's jump right into his rantings.
How does it feel, Marty, knowing that the feds are coming down on you, boy? See, you think you got everybody fooled, but you don't. You ain't got nobody fooled, bruh. You think everybody's following all your shit? Actually, AJ, take a look at my screenshot. Take a look at the thumbnail, bro. Man's clearly alive. And I can tell y'all why. Because he don't want to go to court with CIA hole. Because he knows the feds are after his ass. He owes the government $10 million in back taxes. How does it feel knowing that you're lying to these motherfuckers? How does it feel knowing that you're lying to all these people, bruh? I mean, you're sitting there trying to run from the feds?
So as is the theme for the last video or two here, Cyrax seems to be under the impression that Marty is trying to duck and hide from this alleged court case that he has with CIA hole, his little brother Ethan. But I don't think Cyrax figured out quite yet that all that's probably a load of horse poopy. Cyraxx is gonna live and die on these screenshots that are clearly fake. I mean, the editing on them is pretty piss poor from what I'm seeing. But of course, Cyraxx doesn't want to post them too much because he doesn't want to be called out for it. I'm not quite sure where Cyraxx's mental state has him right now. Is he in such a state of denial that he thinks he has to continue this charade? Or is he so desperate for the attention he knows he's about to lose once the whole train of attention following MusicBizMarty's passing goes away? He's going to be grasping at straws for relevance. The crowd watching him is going to dwindle down to very little, and I think he kind of knows that. This is the face of a goblin in desperation. But just like I said in the last video, I will put money down that any day now he will finally accept the truth of the matter, and then you're going to be hearing tribute after tribute for Cyraxx's little brother Marty on these very, very disturbing and unfortunate karaoke streams.
I told you since day one, homie, that you were gonna be caught. I told you eventually what goes around comes around. Eventually you would be brought down. Eventually I would win the war. And guess what? I win. Like always. I always win. Unlike you, Marty, you ain't no DK. You ain't no fucking racer. You ain't ever put your money where your mouth is. You ain't ever sold any motherfucking albums like I have. You ain't ever done a goddamn thing, motherfucker. Look what happened, bro. You got caught. You done ski.
According to Cyraxx here, Nicholas Beegler, aka MusicBizMarty, is donezo. His whole crew is absolutely cooked. He's gonna go to prison and he's gonna be there for a long time, and Cyraxx is very confident in it. There's something oddly disturbing about Cyraxx and his confidence behind this whole matter. From jump, he has seemingly just been so head over heels in love with this idea that CIA Hole is going to sue Marty into oblivion, the IRS is gonna come get Marty, and somehow he's gonna get wrecked in prison by every other inmate in there. This seems to be like some sort of fantasy that Cyraxx is trying to live out in front of us right now. This feels oddly sexual. It feels like he's getting off on this. I just get a weird vibe from this recently, and I don't know if it's just me or if anybody else in the comment section is noticing as well, but there just seems to be something off about Cyraxx recently. Even more so than usual, you know, he's always off, but this just seems a little more dark.
That's why you're afraid to go to court on the 13th, motherfucker, because you know once you do, you're screwed. You're going to be facing serious prison time. And yours truly just may make an appearance there to watch you get screwed and go down. Yours truly may just show up there to bear witness to your downfall. See, you think you can fool these people, Marty, but you can't fool me. You can't fool nobody that really knows the real truth. I'm going to be taking my money back that you fucking owe me, and I'll make damn sure I get my money back, mother. You got all these fooled, man. But you ain't got me fooled.
That's the biggest joke I've ever heard, and the only time Cyraxx might have actually been funny in his entire life. Saying that he's gonna leave his attic and go watch MusicBizMarty get sentenced. Watch him get his booty smacked, his wrist slapped by the legal book, if you will. And I think that's actually hilarious. Genuinely got a chuckle out of me there, Cyraxx. We all know that you're not gonna get there. How would you get there? What, a CIA hole gonna get you a nice little Ubered wherever this is happening? Because I highly doubt that. I'm sure if you even got within 500 feet of Marty, you would probably shake, fall down to the ground and piss yourself. Probably even do what you did the other day and crap all over yourself in your grandmother's hallway. Cyraxx, you are the last person who would ever be welcome in a courthouse. And next time you set foot in a courthouse, it's not gonna be you pointing and laughing at MusicBizMarty. No, 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 my friend. It's gonna be you squealing like a little pig saying, "Why would you do this to me? I wanna know why you did this to me," after you're being sentenced to a life of sadness and misery for being the PDF weirdo you are.
See, I've always told you since day one that you were a second rate. I always told you since day one that you were fake as that you were bad for business. And this proves it. This just proves that you're a liar, you're fake as fuck. You're trying to pull a Candle Smith on me and it ain't gonna work, bitch. I know what you're trying to do. Fake your death to try to make me look like shit. Well, sorry to tell you, big dog, but that ain't gonna work, man. You're done. So, Marty, enjoy your freedom while it lasts. Because, feds have already got you blocked off from leaving the country, mother. The feds already got you blocked off. You can't leave the country no matter what you do.
Cyraxx is once again doubling down on the Candle Smith thing. He seems to think that this is all a ruse just to get out of whatever court date he seems to be fixated on here. Cyraxx, give it up. Sometimes life can be tough and you just have to swallow those tough pills. Losing a best friend, somebody who gave you everything, somebody who gave gave you life, if you will, relevance, views, attention, infamy. Now that that's all gone, you're gonna be literally the shell of a shell of a shell of your former self. Shoot, we're watching you decay and wither in front of our eyes. Within a year's time, you have aged 15 years, my guy. You have called Marty a liar, a bad person, and every vulgar word in the book, every insult under the sun, but yet you have never taken a moment to do some self-reflection. Almost everything, if not 100% of the things you have said, even in the past 2 videos, all apply to you. You have lied, stolen, abused, and hurt all those around you, including your family, friends, fiancés, stepkids, whatever you want to claim that day. And 100% of the time, it is all because of you and your actions and reactions. Marty didn't make you attack Heather. Marty didn't make you attack Sally. Marty didn't make you say and do all those weird things in all of those chats. Marty didn't force you to assault and R-word a blind boy in high school. You did. Those were all the actions of Chance Wilkins, aka Cyrax.
Your reign of terror over me and everybody else, it's done, man. You, William Edward boy, adios, motherfuckers. Because guess what? Once you go down, they're going to be brought down with you. And me, I'll be free from your bullshit. My friends, my family will be free from your bullshit. And I can proudly say this to the internet. Your boy is finally back. The war, it's over. It's won. Since day one, I have sat in and I've told y'all that eventually I would win this shit. And said that eventually I would get away from the bullshit. How many times have I sat here and warned him to back off, or he was gonna get... I sat here so many fucking times and told you, Marty.
Sometimes you gotta feel bad for Cyrax, not in any empathetic sense, but in the sense that this guy is absolutely so deluded, so absolutely stupid, and has zero common sense that he has no idea how this works. Even if, say, Marty were to get locked up, thrown away in prison, or whatever, William Glory Hole gets dealt with, etc., etc., there's always gonna be another person there. It's the same thing with, like, Al-Qaeda and all those other things, right? Just because he took out bin Laden didn't mean that terrorism stopped, right? Didn't mean all those groups stopped existing. They either spread out and made a new group, or guess what? A new person came into succession. Same thing with presidents, right? When a president's gone, what happens? Whether they die, whether they're removed in another way, guess what? Somebody else pops up. That's how this whole thing works, Cyrax. So you thinking that just because you get away from one group of trolls, you think that you're gonna be home free, everybody's suddenly gonna be a fan of you, everybody's suddenly gonna forget all the BS that came with that last regime? No, Cyrax, it's only gonna get worse. You're gonna run into a worse group of people, and I think you'd be surprised how much shielding and how much safety and sanctuary actually came from MusicBizMarty and his involvement with you.
You evaded taxes, you owe them $10 million in back taxes, you evaded paying your taxes, and look what happened, dude. Not to mention all the money and all the restitution you're gonna have to pay me back for all the money you made off of me and my videos and the shit that you stole from me and my family and my people and my team. Yeah, you're gonna be made. I'm gonna make damn sure you have to pay all that shit back. And your little fuck buddy, lapdog, N-word boy, yeah, y'all motherfuckers gonna be paying me back for all that. And you know what I'm gonna do with that money? I'm gonna get a place for me and my fiance and our son.
Not that I think tax evasion or any sort of illegal activity is a smart move, and not that I promote or condone it, but I mean, Cyrax, you're trying to equate people going to jail for tax evasion and defrauding the government as the same level of ridicule and disrespect as PDF files, woman assaulters, etc. People aren't just gonna turn out somebody, trick them out if you will, just because they did something bad. They're all there for doing something bad. You can tell that Cyrax watches some of these prison YouTubers because he's trying to use some of those terminologies like solid charges and etc, etc. Cyrax, you would be turned out within seconds of actually being there. He's gonna try to talk later down the line here in a minute or so like he's actually been to prison once or twice, and I can tell you factually right now, Cyrax never actually made it past a holding tank. He went downtown to the station at most. He was never brought into a prison. He was never brought to a jail. Calm down, Cyrax.
But yeah, you wouldn't know anything about being a good person, Marty, would you? Because your ass ain't ever put in a goddamn day's hard work in your fucking life, bro. You talk about how, oh, why would I give that up when I can do this? It's called not being lazy, motherfucker. I put in over 4.5 years of scrap and metal just to get a start to where I'm at now. Back in the day, hauling in 100+ pounds of scrap a week, dude, just to get what I have now. Like, you wouldn't know anything about hard work. You're laziest, you're fattest, and quite frankly, you need to hit the goddamn gym and lose that goddamn weight, mother. Because I can tell you right now, MusicBizMarty, your ass ain't dead. And you know what they're gonna do to you when you go to prison? Because you are going to prison for this shit, bro. They're gonna turn your ass out, and you're gonna end up someone's bitch.
The moment Cyraxx started berating Marty for being lazy and never working a hard day in his life is the moment I felt us all collectively roll our eyes and sigh. Cyraxx, you are the absolute last person to talk about a hard day's work. Talking like you did something in the scrapping game. Talking like you've worked hard to support your family to get to where you are now. You stole your grandma's credit card, bought yourself a bunch of Fortnite skins, you stole some money from Ed, got yourself a little blanket for Christmas. We all know how you get your stuff, Cyraxx. You get it through nefarious means. You don't get it through hard work. For some actual context on the claim Cyraxx is trying to make here, he didn't spend 4.5 years scrapping metal. He would go out with Ed every so often on the weekend, pick up some cans and help him turn them in. That's it. That's the extent of Cyraxx's hard work. His 4.5 years in the scrapping game is him sometimes helping Ed on the weekend throw a few little sody cans into a bag so Ed can go cash them in for some cash, to then go buy some perkies.
What do you think the people out there are gonna say when I throw my people in and they get a hold of the people out there where you're at? And they tell them, and my guys tell your guys about what the fuck you've done to me and my family and my friends over the last 8 years, including the bomb threats, including entrapment, all the lies, all the deceit. They're gonna turn your ass out, mother. They will beat you half to death, bro. You think you're gonna survive prison? I don't claim to be the hardest on the planet. I don't claim to be the baddest on the planet. And did you beat my ass that night that I showed up to the Airbnb to confront you? Yeah.
Cyraxx doesn't have any people, especially any people that would be willing to do any sort of favors for him in any sort of prison system. Cyraxx is not well connected. Cyraxx is a nobody. All the people he knows he can count on his hand. Ed and Sally. The rest of his family has disowned him. He's estranged from every single cousin, uncle, brother, aunt, sister, you name it. Cyraxx seems to think that the justice system inside of prison is, if you've done any wrong to anybody, that you're gonna get your absolute lights knocked out. You're gonna get stabbed up, you're gonna get shanked down, you're gonna be made into a bottom bitch. Unlike Cyraxx, I won't pretend like I have any experience in the prison system. I've never been to prison, I've never been to jail, I've never been in any trouble of that sort. But from what I've seen online and from some of these YouTubers that Cyraxx is trying to emulate and mimic, that yes, of course, there's always going to be that danger of having to prove yourself, fight, etc. Cyraxx seemingly is diluting all of the little semantics and intricacies that cause those situations to happen into just, hey, you're a bad guy, you're going to get beat up, haha, you messed with me on the street, watch what they're going to do. No, they're going to applaud this man, and they're probably going to respect him more because he does mess with people like you on the streets.
I showed up to prove to you that I'm not scared of your little bitch ass, bro. Did I take it out? Yeah, but at least I showed up and I showed that I ain't scared of your fucking bitch ass, homie. Ain't nobody motherfucking scared of you, motherfucker. You ain't even scary, dog. That's why when my family first stepped outside, when you first showed up here and my family stepped outside to defend me, your bitch ass ran. Cause that's what you're good at, man. You're good at running, bro. That's what you're good at. You run like a punk ass. Oh, and a little bit of advice for you, Nick. 2 pieces of advice for you when you go to prison. 1, don't drop the soap. I'm just telling you, man. So if I was you, bro, I'd start watching guys like JD Delay, Lockdown 23-1. I'd start watching those motherfuckers to prep myself for prison because, you know, that's where you're gonna be ending up, dude.
Chance talks a big game online, as we all know, but it's always funny to see this revisionist history that he's been trying to push for many years now. A couple of years back, him and Marty met up and had a fight. That's where most people kind of got in all this. They were like, wow, what's all this about? Even though Marty was injured dealing with a leg surgery I believe he had just had, he limped on over and gave good old Goblin Boy the beats. Now, to be fair, if Marty actually wanted to give him the beat down, Marty could have definitely put some real damage in there. But the little he did get in there was all facilitated and 100% caused by Cyraxx and his aggressive actions. Now, video evidence can and show that Cyrax was the one who invited Marty over. He invited him to come catch these hands. Cyrax was not targeted, stalked, or called out by anybody. Cyrax invited these people to come. Chance claiming that he's not scared, and even though he took the L, he showed up and showed out and showed that he was not scared of Marty, even though you can hear in that video he was screaming for his little goblin life. I think he was just a little scared.
Because eventually, bro, you are gonna be someone's bitch, like it or not. Somebody is gonna make you their bitch. But like I said, if you don't want that kind of shit to happen, keep your mouth shut. And don't call anybody a punk ass bitch. Last motherfucker that called somebody a punk ass bitch where I was at, guess what? They got their whole ass face fucking rearranged. In a matter of seconds, their whole fucking face got rearranged because they called somebody a punk ass. But like I said, Nick, those are just a few little tips that I'm giving you to try. Keyword, try to survive prison, which I doubt you will. Because knowing you'll end up being someone's bitch and they'll end up extorting you for money, drugs, all kinds of shit, knowing your ass.
I mentioned it before and I'll mention it again. Cyrax seems to have this weird prison fantasy with Marty as the main character. It's like some sort of voyeuristic fantasy where Cyrax is looking down from the ceiling, just beating his pud, watching good old Mart Dog get the pegs in the showers. He goes on this weird rant where he gives a couple pieces of advice to Marty about how to act and properly carry himself in prison, as if he has any idea what the hell would be going on or how to carry himself. We all know Cyrax would be curled up, likely crying, absolutely terrified in some sort of protective custody unit because he would not make it 2 seconds out there and everybody knows it. And we're not even talking about people getting him because he's an alleged PDF or whatever. It's just simply look how feeble he is, look how unhealthy he is, look how small he is. There is no way you could put him in a cell with another man and expect he would make it through the night. But who knows, Cyrax is much like those little sucker fish that you see in people's aquariums at home. That mouth will find its way to a wee-wee real quick to stay safe.
Cause I'll give you that, man. I'll give you the fact. You're a big dude. I'll give you that. You're a big dude and you could throw some punches, but you really think it's gonna be a fair fight? Nah, man. They're gonna come at you 6 people deep and your ass is gonna be all kinds of. I'm just giving you the facts of what's gonna happen in prison, man. I'm just saying, dude. You don't keep your mouth shut. This shit that I'm saying is what actually happens when you're in prison, bro. When you're in jail, prison, it don't matter. It's all the same. That kind of shit is gonna happen when you go there. Why do you think I stuck to myself when I went? Both times I stuck to myself. Thankfully, second time around, I had a homie from high school that I got celled up with that knew that I wasn't in any kind of trouble. Dude recognized me right off rip. So I celled up with him until I was able to get the fuck up out of there next day. Thankfully, homie was chill as fuck. He was a good friend of mine from high school. Dude was in there on some solid ass fucking weed charges because he had gotten busted for selling and distributing weed before it became legal.
Having to suffer through Cyrax talk like he has any sort of prison, jail, etc. experience is just insufferable. Cyrax doesn't know what he's talking about. As much as I hate to be nitpicky, there is indeed a difference between jail and prison. Quite a few differences actually, and many culture differences as well. Again, I'm not super experienced, I'm not super knowledgeable, but I know enough from watching some of these prison YouTubers to know that there are very real differences between the two. And the way Cyrax is portraying how these prisoners act is a lot more mongoloid, and honestly doesn't help Cyrax's case if he ever ends up in a prison and or jail himself. If anybody catches wind that he sees these people as mindless apes who just attack people because they have charges, I think he'll become a target pretty quickly. Something that doesn't even need to be said because it's common sense is obviously it's going to depend what charges you're down on. IRS, tax fraud, stuff like that would probably be considered good charges to an extent. Obviously everybody in prison is a bad person or broke the rules to some sort of extent. Everybody's there for a reason. Clearly Cyrax only knows what he's seen on the movies and heard in YouTube videos because, I mean, his recollections and his quote-unquote advice here is very telling.
I'll catch you guys in a few minutes and MusicBizMarty, William Glory Hole, N-word boy. Hello to a brighter future, baby. See you guys in just a few minutes, man. Peace. Stay rocking. Oh, I know Marty. They had a big bubble for me.
So Cyrax tries to spin this yarn about all the times he's spent in prison and all the cellmates he's had and his friend from high school who kept him safe, and that's where he got all this advice from. It's all comical and it's all absolute fallacy. jealousy. Cyraxx has never spent a day in prison. He has no idea what he's talking about. He's never had a celly. It's all just lies from the goblin's mouth. Thanks for watching another episode of the Cyraxx Deep Dive series. Once again, RIP to Nicholas Beegler, aka MusicBizMarty. You will be missed, man. Your trolling was legendary. You brought us the goblin, and now hopefully we'll be able to carry the torch and continue in your name. Hold your loved ones tight. Be sure to call them on a daily basis. Text them if you can, and make sure you always keep contact, because you don't know when the last time you'll be able to talk to them is. Be sure to hit that like button if you haven't already. The more likes this video gets, the more YouTube promotes it, and that helps us bring more eyes to the goblin that is Cyraxx. Subscribe if you're new. We're very close to 20,000. Would love to hit that soon. And don't forget to drop down your comments talking about all this. I would love to know your opinions on Cyraxx's most recent insufferable behavior, and I'll see you all soon.